Do you remember how you felt the first half a year after your wedding? Our GIF headline is only going through it right now with her husband, Jean-Claude. Yes, the first few months were rather challenging. Now it's much better though. Adeline studied in the best school for GIFs in Africa. There she met her husband-to-be. She didn't change a lot through all these years. She's still very confident about everything. Yesterday, she told Jean-Claude once again, "We must buy a new car for us and our children." She used must to show her internal obligation. Yes, a new convertible is a must for her. How else is she supposed to fit in with such a long neck? Must. Internal obligation. We must buy a new car for us and our children. Since Adeline has been raised in British traditions, she loves rules. For example, when she and her husband decided to have a road trip along the coast to visit a famous opera house, they booked their tickets there online, just to be on the safe side. All visitors must have a valid ID, says the disclaimer on their tickets. Here, must stands for the written rules that we need to follow. Adeline read it attentively and took 2 passports and 1 face mask. Who knows? The new pandemic can break out any day. Must. Written rules. All visitors must have a valid ID. When they reached their destination, Jean-Claude tried to smoke right in the hotel room. What a disturbing fact for Adeline. She's sure that his French upbringing is the root for all evil. When she saw it, she strictly said, "You mustn't smoke over here, it's strongly forbidden." Yes, mustn't shows a strong prohibition. Adeline knew it. That's why she read through the whole list of the hotel rules twice and prepared properly before traveling. That's her British way of thinking. She can't help it. Mustn't. Prohibition. You mustn't smoke over here. It's strongly forbidden. In the opera house, Adeline got to know a very cute couple of giraffes from Germany. They arrived by ship from Hamburg, since they can't travel by plane because of their very long necks, to listen to the best opera voice in Africa. They strongly recommended visiting the city and checking a few concerts in their philharmonic. They told Adeline, "You must visit Hamburg Concert Hall to hear one of the Wagner symphonies. They are magnificent." Here they used must to make a very strong recommendation. Of course, they could use should, but that would be a usual recommendation or advice. In this situation, they used must to show how much they wanted Adeline to come. Must. Strong advice. You must visit Hamburg Concert Hall to hear one of the Wagner symphonies. The next day, Adeline and Jean-Claude were invited by Friedrich and Greta, the couple from Germany, to a restaurant. In the end, they even paid for the everyone's dinner. After that, Adeline told Jean-Claude, "They must be very nice and generous people." Of course, after one dinner, she was a bit too fast to jump to conclusions. Nevertheless, Adeline made a deduction about Friedrich and Greta based on a very clear evidence, just like Sherlock Holmes would do in her favorite novels. And, as it seems, she was right. They must be very polite and nice people indeed. Must. Deduction. They must be very nice and generous people. Short notice. There is no negative form for deductions with must. If you say, "It just mustn't be true," responding to some new piece of information, you'll sound quite strange. You can't prohibit something to be true. You are not a dictator. At least, not that much. Negative form for deduction with must. is can't or can't. For example, you are having a walk with your friend and see a person that looks like an old acquaintance of yours. You haven't seen him for ages, and you know for a fact that he's been living in another country for many years now. So you say, it can't be him. Now the negative form looks much better from a grammatical point of view. Attention, when must has a negative meaning different from deduction, its negative forms change a lot. So be attentive. Do you have to check with our table with all the negative forms to be on the safe side? Sure, after that, everybody's going to be as easy as a pie, or, as Jeers would say, as picking up the leaves from the trees. By the way, when Jean-Claude only started dating Adeline, he liked to tell stories about his past. Once he said, "I must had to work more than 8 hours a day." Oh my. When Adeline heard it, she almost fainted it. Then went red, then sat down and started crying. First of all, to with must is never used. Secondly, Adeline still doesn't understand how Jean-Claude dated to use must in the past for his duties and obligations. For the past we use form had to, or its negative form didn't have to, which is also relevant for the future. Will have to, or its negative form won't have to. Jean-Claude needed to say, "I had to work more than 8 hours a day," or "I didn't have to work more than 8 hours every day." She would be so happy to hear, "I will have to open one more business in order to make our family feel financially secure." Must in the past, had to, didn't have to. Must in the future, will have to, won't have to. "I must had to work more than 8 hours every day." I had to work more than 8 hours every day. I didn't have to work more than 8 hours every day. I will must to open one more business. I will have to open one more business. I won't have to open one more business. As you understand, Adeline has a good relationship with Jean-Claude. Adeline is so happy to see how fast he learns English. Her mom was not right about him, that's sure. We would be so happy if you learn rules and did tasks about must with the same speed and result as Jean-Claude. Good luck.